Cybersex and compulsive behavior. Hello, everyone. My name is Ann Yevis, and I am currently holding an associate's degree in psychology and also an administrative assistant certification. I am currently working on my bachelor's degree in the field of human services with a generalist concentration. I'm in hopes of one day to obtain my doctorate in psychology, and today we will be discussing cybersex and compulsive behavior. I want to view this topic with a view of positive and negative results. Cybersex types, benefits, how to do it safely. Dr. Kimberly Van Buren is a marriage and family therapist. She says that the internet is rapidly changing our choices of purpose and the way we live. Apart from helping us find information, it also introduces us to sex evolution. What is cybersex and the types of cybersex? Cybersex is referred to as the internet sex, cybering, sexting, web sex, and many other terms which will be discussed in this presentation, which are all defined as a virtual sexual encounter. The means to which the virtual sexual encounter takes place may vary. Let's talk about a few. Cybersex can be also called a sexual expression that we send or receive using the internet. Cybersex is also known as when a person uses a computer to talk sexually to other people. They use this for self-pleasure by touching themselves and masturbating. The individual usually views it as a taboo topic and rather never to talk about it. They are surrounded with feelings of shame or guilt. Many people ignore this topic of sex addiction or cybersex because it causes feelings of discomfort or embarrassment. As crazy as the world's changed, I believe this can be in the older generation's feelings, and that it is why it is important as a human service worker to educate on this topic, to avoid these feelings, and to provide adequate help for those struggling with it. As I mentioned earlier in the presentation, when it comes to the definition of cyber, we have quite a few types of cybersex. The internet is rapidly changing our choices, purposes, and the way we live. Apart from helping us find the information, it is also introducing us to sex evolution. Platforms like Firefox, Google Chrome, and Edge, which we are all aware of in different age groups and are being used. Old school porn and erotica, it may not seem like it, but it is on the cybersex spectrum. Although it has been around for a while, the variety of the porn has expanded so vastly that I cannot imagine an interest that has not been explored in films, books, or pictures. There is something for everyone. Groups of solo sex. Watching porn can be done in a group, by couples or a solo act. However, it does not put you in a relationship with the individual on the screen. However, during the time, it is important to discuss limitations, likes, and dislikes. Cyber chat rooms, I believe the lack of interaction with the other person is what sparks the live web streaming rooms, where participants can engage in one-on-one groups sexual encounters. There are cybersex chat room streams that need to be purchased and spaces where you have one-on-one time. The level of participants and rules for these encounters are negotiated, but like an in-person sexual encounter, the expectations are decided before anything happens for all participants to feel safe. Connected toys. There are newer technologies like teledonics that are becoming a common part of cybersex. Teledonics is a connected sex toy where the participant can control the toys of another participant through an app. The variety of these toys are endless. Each has their own way of impacting the individual in the relationship. Social media. Social media platforms have private direct message options where participants can send text, pictures, videos, video chats, and audio calls. They can be used for sexual activities. Other sites, such as Twitter, which allows people to communicate with fans, adult film stars, or pornographic companies. The platform is used for sexual purposes. Online gaming included includes the ability to text or audio chat. These chats have the potential to be sexual in nature. Gaming has a wide range of age groups, and this makes it popular for adults looking to chat sexually with minors. Mobile Internet are equipped with access built-in features on phones to create a way to capture sexual experiences and share them on the internet. They are also using in sexting, which will be discussed next. Sexting is a combination of sex and texting. Sexting is the act of sending sexual text messages. It often also involves sending nude or semi-nude photos, explicit videos of yourself. Sexting can happen via messaging on cell phones or via other message services and a direct message on social media sites. People of any age group can sexting, but tech-savvy teens and young adults are most likely to use the method for sexual connection. Studies have shown that 50% of teens have sent a sexting, and about 27 of them have received one. 3 out of 4 young adults have participated in sexting. The bad part about sexting is that it can come back to haunt you. It can come back to haunt you. Anyone, but especially teens, who sharing nude photos online, it can hurt their chances in college admissions. Admission officers also look at social media profiles and search potential student names online to gauge material maturity levels and see whether someone is a suitable and a candidate. Benefits of cybersex. Technology has provided a way to engage in sexual activities without many of the drawbacks that affects in-person sexual encounters. These benefits range from the following. It eliminates health issues such as sexually transmitted diseases and pregnancy to the physical safety issues involved in meeting new people for sexual encounters. Another benefit related to virtual sexual encounters is the capability to connect with individuals outside of your region, being able to create an alternate persona and not have to expose that persona to anyone but those who choose to engage with. Once that engagement is over, you have the choice as to when and how often you choose to interact with the person, with it being extremely unlikely that you will have to engage with that person at any time. At times, things do not go as planned. There can be risks, which I will explain in the next slide. Risk of cybersex. Is cybersex cheating? Because of the anonymities of cybersex, there is a risk of individuals who are married or are in a committed relationship feeling as though these virtual encounters are not real or that the encounter is meaningful than if the encounter was in person. On the other side, there is also the possibility is why respect is important in a relationship on slide 24. Evolutions of cybersex in the COVID era. Like any human interaction, the number of variables that may occur in cybersex relationships is a very unpredictable and complicated as any in-person relationship. Before COVID, our society utilized virtual compatibilities when needed. Since COVID, virtual platforms are needed to do things we need to do. Many of our jobs, education sources, and even doctor's appointments have moved to the virtual platform on Zoom. Weddings, baby showers, and even funerals have become the norm due to the pandemic, making virtual the same as in person for many of us. This change is what is already a shaky premise about cybersex and online relationships carrying a different weight than a relationship that takes place in person. The volume of live interaction that is capable through technology has created a new space for all relationships because of this shift in our perception. It is my belief that the way cybersex is viewed by the masses will also shift. We may soon start hearing about cybersex and online relationships being referred to simply as sex and relationships. How to have safe cybersex. Here are tips on how to have cybersex safely. Always ask, ensure you are engaging with the other person with this consent. You both can go as far as you want, as long as you both are transparent about it. Use different contact numbers. It's better to stay safe and not reveal the phone number you share with friends and family with the ones you are sexting for the first time. Use an app that doesn't reveal your number. Have a virtual party. Don't hesitate to explore yourself sexually. Understand what clicks you better. Couple sex, open relationships, or anything else. Communicate and try to understand your preferences. Cybersex might not be the right choice for everyone, but it can be a playful, fulfilling, and pleasurable for those who prefer it. So educate yourself on the benefits and risks and have fun. But what happens if you come upon someone who has compulsive behavior? How do you know if they are compulsive? How can you help someone struggling with compulsive behavior? The next part of this presentation will discuss this. Compulsivity. When somebody engages repeatedly in a behavior that is excessive, and despite the harmful consequences of doing so, it is referred to as a compulsive behavior. People who have this experience feel unable to control their behavior, and so it can interfere with their daily activities and relationships. In the treatment of sexual addiction and compulsivity, the family unit is often neglected. Yet, this disorder has a major impact not only on the identified patient, but also on the spouse or partner and on the family as a whole. A resurvey completed by 91 women and 3 men aged 24 to 57 years old who had experienced serious adverse consequences of their partner's cybersex involvement. Adverse effects on the children included exposure to cyber porn and the objectification of women, involvement in parental conflicts, lack of attention because of one parent's involvement with the computer and the other parent's preoccupation with the cyber addiction, breakups of the marriage. In response to their spouse, cybersex addiction partners went through a sequence of pre-recovery phases: ignorance, denial, shock, discovery of cyber activity, and problem-solving attempts, where their attempts failed and they realized how unmanageable their lives have become. They entered the crisis stage and began to do their own recovery. In the treatment of sexual addiction and compulsivity, cybersex and the psychology of the internet continues the individuation in feeling anonymous in one's environment, resulting in behaviors that are contrary to one's typical pattern of behavior. Anonymity causes people to pay more attention to their external cues, which would be the environment around them, and less to the self-awareness or internal cues, meaning their mood or desires and examples will be people tend to have more bluntly when communicating on electronic venues than they would in face-to-face situations. The relationship between cybersex and the field of human services and substance abuse in the field of human service will be encounter a diverse group of people suffering from multiple differences, mental illnesses, or addiction. And it's important to have knowledge on all of them. Cybersex addiction is commonly co-occurring with other conditions, such as depression, anxiety, bipolar disorder, and OCD. The family unit is often neglected, yet this disorder has a major impact not only on the identified patient, but also on the spouse or partner and on the family as a whole. Who are the victims of cybersex? Every year, a growing number of young women and children are abused online by cybersex trafficking. As a Tier Fund report, impoverished women and girls are particularly vulnerable to online trafficking and predators. There are many different types of compulsive behavior. Some align more closely to addictive behaviors, while the others relate more closely to obsessive compulsive disorder or problems with the impulse control. Some of the kinds of behaviors that people seek therapy for are included: shopping or buying, eating, gambling, washing, cleaning, counting, checking, skin picking, hair food, exercise, and there you go, sexual behavior has made the list. Addiction disorders, such as substance use disorder. A study conducted by Valerie Wood, a neuropsychiatrist and a neuroscientist at the University of Cambridge, found that there is a similarity between the brain of the individual suffering with compulsive sexual behavior and those struggling with substance use disorders. Below, I have attached a link to share with you. Characteristics of compulsive behavior vary and affect people in different ways. That said, some of all of the following symptoms may be experienced: repeatedly engaging in a behavior, repeating the behavior despite adverse and harmful consequences to yourself or others, feeling like you can't control the behavior, experiencing an intense urge or something that feels like a little like a craving to participate in the behavior, a sense of pleasure associated with the behavior. You don't need to be experienced for all of these symptoms to be faced with problems that interferes with your life. People with just one or two that have difficulty with compulsive behavior and can benefit from therapy. Cybersex and psychology of the internal solar online. This visitation affects describe the phenomenon that people communicate and behave differently online than in the real life solar operation. The six characters that are a basis for why individuals engage in online sexual behavior. They are as listed. Obsessive compulsive disorder, or CBC, is a common chronic and long-lasting disorder which a person has uncontrollably recurring thoughts, obsessions, and or behaviors, compulsion, that he or she feels the urge to repeat over and over. What to do if you are struggling with compulsive behavior? The most appropriate treatment plan depends on the type of behavior experienced. In some cases, a combination of medications and therapies may be the most effective way forward. It is important to work closely with your health care professional to figure out the treatment approach that's the right fit for you. Common elements of treatment plans include assessments. In some cases, compulsive behaviors can be related to impulse control disorders or obsessive compulsive and related disorders, which are groups of diagnosable mental health conditions. These conditions are similar but different, so it is best to speak with a therapist regarding the specifics of your experiences. Receiving an accurate diagnosis will make an enormous difference to the type of treatment approach taken. Assessments that are typically used in the global internet assessment and the assessment focus to determine types of online sexual behaviors, the frequency of their behaviors, and the impact these behaviors have on the individual. Medications. In some cases, medications can be helpful for managing compulsive behavior or related mental health challenges. Therapy. Psychologically talking, therapists in both individual and group context can help with some symptoms of compulsive behavior. An associated challenge, the type of therapy to consider or discuss further below. Support groups. Many people who struggle with compulsive behavior find support groups to be beneficial. Sharing experiences and learning from people who are further along the treatment journey can be encouraged and help people to feel that they are not alone, although compulsive behaviors are not already related to OCD. Therapy types to consider compulsive behaviors. Many types of therapy are considered helpful for treating symptoms of compulsive behavior and associated challenges. Therapy types include cognitive behavior therapy, CBT. CBT can help change unhelpful thoughts and behaviors. Additionally, it's not uncommon for people with compulsive behavior to also experience mental health problems such as anxiety, depression, or substance abuse. CBT can also help with this. Exposure and response prevention, ERP. This type of therapy is helpful if you're experiencing compulsive behavior as part of a diagnosis of obsessive compulsive behavior. OCD-ER is a type of CBT in which people are exposed to situations that lead to compulsive behaviors but learn to decrease and stop engaging in them. Mindfulness practices. Mindfulness helps people to be more aware of their body and thoughts without automatically acting on them. Acceptance and commitment therapy ACT involves components of both CBT and mindfulness, as well as other strategies to help people take an acceptance approach to urge to engage in compulsive behavior. What to look for in a therapist for the compulsive behavior. The best fitting type of therapist for you will depend on individual factors, symptoms, the location, and finances. When selecting a mental health professional, it can be helpful to consider the following factors. Personal fit. As in the case when you are seeking therapy for any reason, it is important to consider the potential for developing a strong working relationship with your therapist. The trusting working relationship with a therapist is core to the therapeutic alliance, and it is the number one indicator of treatment deficiencies. Qualification and experiences. It is important to look for a licensed mental health professional. This ensures that the therapist you work with has undertaken the appropriate education and training. In addition, ask your prospective therapists ahead of time whether they have specialized training and experience in the assessment and treatment of compulsive behavior. Key characteristics to look out for problematic behavior are the loss of freedom to choose between stopping and or continuing continuing behavior despite negative consequences, and obsessive thinking. Associated with the sexual behavior, the next one I want to go over is the Internet Sex Screening Test. This is a self-administered tool to help the client access the cybersex behavior. It contains of 25 core items and 9 general offline sexual compulsive items. There will be a couple of links I found to be interesting that maybe my audience would appreciate. There are research question surveys that I have come across to further insight on cybersex and compulsiveness, behaviors, and addiction. For anyone who would like to take a look, I also added a link of an overview of common issues that emerge for cybersex users divided into 2 sections selection. One goes over the extended or personal knowledge of the internet and online sexual behavior. Section 2 focuses on the social, sexual, and psychological aspects of cybersex behavior. Questions are based around 6-dimensional arousal, how touch, savory, and personal risk. It is the person's chasing a rush. Illegally in the person, if this person crosses the line, are they watching child pornography or desolating secrecies? Are they hiding this from their loved ones? Compulsivity is the realistic it is. It needs drive. Managing skills that help clients who are highly motivated. Ensuring that the computer is only used in high traffic areas. Examples of that would be a cafe, a library, somewhere where there's a lot of people around. Using the computer only when others are nearby. Specifying locations where the internet can or cannot be used. Some clients may have triggers such as being home alone, using the computer late at night, or using the computer in a hotel, so those triggers would be placed where the client should not be using the computer. Making sure that the monitor is visible to others. For an example, at the place of work, make sure the monitor is visible to co-workers. At home, make sure it's visible to the wife and children. Installing screensavers on background of important people such as parents, spouses, children, and our friends. Electronic management. Filtering and blocking this is something that parents often use on child devices to make sure that they're not accessing inappropriate website. Filtering and blocking can easily be removed, but it doesn't serve as a free line of defense to get the client to stop and think before they act. Computer monitoring, these computers monitoring websites or installs create reports of the website that the client used. This can be used as an accountable tool. I want to close out this PowerPoint presentation reminding you of the different articles, websites, tests, and surveys links throughout the presentation. I hope that this presentation has been very informative, that the information you can use. I hope that the resources can be used for anybody struggling with cybersex addiction. Remember, the only thing that holds you back is fear and addiction. When you acknowledge and accept that you need help, the seeking of help is possible. There are many resources and human service workers out there who are ready to guide you. You can begin walking up the ladder of recovery in your own pace, one step at a time. Thank you, everybody, for watching, and hope you have a great day.